It's proper rain. So lots of rain today and it's a bit dull, as you can see. So instead of bringing an update, been doing the old evenings, as I mentioned, trying to get some of this done. So got the sink unit all levelled, and that's where it's pretty much going to stay. Got an idea of where this unit's going to go now, so cut holes for pipes and stuff, and then last night, why do you always have a drink when I'm filming? Sorry about the clips that have had this dog lapping up her water through it. Literally every time, although, you know, a bowl is in the kitchen, so excuse me for, you know, getting in her way. But, man, you were thirsty. Eh? You can say hi. Say hi. Still haven't figured out screens yet, have you? Eh? No, you're just about getting to watch TV. Anyway, I digress. Yes, I spent as I said to you, the position of the unit and the cladding is quite closely linked together because it all sort of connects together. Because I'm going to do this like I did back there, which is where the cladding obviously goes down the whole wall, and then the worktop's going to butt up to it, and then we're going to finish it off with like an oak plinth. So we're going to try and do the same this side. And then this side, because of this gap, and because of how uneven the wall is, so I've had to pack it out at the top. We always knew this gap was going to be here because of, as you not being able to fit a full corner unit in like we have the other end. We're using this 100 unit, so again, like I said before, this joint here is critical to be able to get 60mm quadrant in here, so that's got to make sure that works. So on this side, again, because we've got the window sill to contend with, and we've got this gap, I'm probably going to clad this after we've put the worktop down, so that it sits over the top of the worktop. That way I can make a bit more of a watertight seal. Got a bit more I can seal the cladding to the work surface and then put the plinth on, and then maybe seal that too, so we get like a double protection. Anyway, that's the plan, but we'll see what happens. So just thought I'd show you this. So this is kind of like what I've been doing to make the wall straight. It's not pretty, but it is very solid. Yeah, we're cladding again up to the 1.8 like we've done this side. So I did exactly the same. Make a frame up, and then it comes out looking nice and tidy, like this one. So yeah, so because the wall has been rounded here, and because of how bad, there was a shorter piece of cladding already, like on this side here, and we can see why, because it covered up this big hole in the plasterwork. But I was thinking, oh, do I just shove some plaster over it to make it tidy, but actually there's no point because we're cladding over it again. So that's what I'm going to do, just clad over it. And then a dishwasher is now here, so I knew what the measurements were, and that's going to go there. So try and get this wall at least cladded today, so that we can start on. We're going to have a socket here, so want to get that in and positioned, and then I need to chip away the wire out of the wall carefully, because I don't think it'll be protected again up the wall here. Again, like I said before, because we want to get a link wire on this switch, and that's how you do it. When you want one light and 2 switches, switch it in different places. The link is actually between the 2 switches rather than between the switch and the light. So I need to chase this up here so that I can feed a wire either that way, which might be hard because of what's above it, or I might cheat and go that way and find the wire and then take my panel off and then feed it over the ceiling over there. But we'll see how that goes. So that's the plans for today, and yeah, keep you updated. All right, cheers, bye. Here we go, guys. Thought I'd just pause for a minute, show you why it's important to be careful in a house you don't know when you're doing electrical work or when you're banging holes or drilling holes. Look what I found. So all I was literally doing, as I've said, is chasing this wire, which I knew was here because I'd opened the faceplate already. I knew there was a wire that the very high likelihood of it not being in anything, which, as you can see, it isn't. But you can see also that there is trunking in the wall, and it goes off at an angle up here. I don't know how far I'm going to chase it. Got a bit of a shock, not literally, when I found this wire going across the other wire like that. So it's not live, thankfully, but you never know what you're going to find. When, yeah, as I've mentioned before in videos, like successive trades have been in or people have been in and done stuff, and never cease to be amazed at how people leave houses. So can't quite understand why you would know there's trunk in there, leave wire in there, but then put the wire next to it rather than trace it into the trunking. But there we go. We need to go and see what the dog's doing, but just sort of pause and maybe I'll show you how far I get. Discovery of where these wires go. Right, just back. So, wiring saga continues. Found another one. Don't know what's going on with this all. Just thought I'd pause and show you something interesting I found. So I've discovered that it's probably likely that this window got lowered at some point, our kitchen window, and it might be because at a later stage it had the outside porch fitted. But in chasing this wire, I found one bit of wood, which is lintel, and 2 bit of wood, which is an even older bit of wood. So I reckon that it used to be as tall as the other window, which would make sense with the height, near enough. And then they've wanted to put that porch on the outside, so they've lowered it and put another lintel in. So it's positive that it's got 2, because it means everything above's not going nowhere. But yeah, at some point they must have had some work done. So anyway, yeah, I found another. I'm just going to chop these off. They're not obviously live, but just a question if anyone knows or can find out for me. Leave in the comments. Not seen these wires before. They must either just be really old before earthing was a thing. But found some, what I think is 1mm cable, which I guess would have been for lighting, but it has no earth in it. So I'm presuming that that was pre-earth kind of regulation. But then this wire, as you can see, is red, white and blue. So with no like separate earth cable, initially I thought it was for what I'm putting in, but it would normally have a yellow in it for a switch, and it would have 4 cables in there for doing this switch thing. But yeah, intriguing. So if anyone knows at what point or when these wires might have been used, they're still really flexible, which is surprising. So if they're really old, they're done really well in this wall. Yeah, just intrigued when these sorts of wires were used. So I'm just going to cut this and then tape it so that if anyone else finds it at a later date, they know it's terminated. And then I'm going to chop this bit of chunk in here off. I've no idea where these wires went. They're obviously not live. Don't know where that bit of trunking goes either. But we'll just chop them and so we can get our own bit of trunking in. Joy. All right, see you in a bit. Bye. Hey, so wire update. This all happened. Chased me wire up the wall, and then Janitha and I chased the wires in. Fair to say that the house thought was all the way. Thought it would be, as you know, I left these panels so I can remove them. So I duly removed 3 of them so that I could run wires behind this beam and get into the ceiling. Because for the time being, we've got laminate flooring in the bathroom. I don't want to have to mess about with it, so it was using like another meter of cable, so I decided to do what I could access. But yeah, there are obviously the beams in the ceiling go this way, and so I kind of was thinking it made sense to run the wire up there and then behind the beam and along the wall that way, but there was something in the way. So then had to chase that extra bit there, as you can see, and then managed to, I was thinking I was going to have to run it all the way across the top of the door. I managed to find the obstruction and get around it. So then the cables come along here, and then I did all the wiring and managed to get a first coat of plaster on just to hold in our new metal trunking, as you can see. Proper job. And then so we now have one switch here, if you noticed before. We now have 2 because I wanted 2 circuits. And then over this way I've also done the same, and got a trunking in, which is good. And then yeah, I've only had a 2 switch, so we need a 3. So this one isn't live at the moment because it's disconnected that other end, but managed to get these circuits working, which relate to the other switch. And this one, something going on upstairs. This one will be we've decided to put in a LED strip all along the beam, which I think will look quite nice, because I'm going to be putting stuff on the ceiling anyway to hide the gap that's there. So there you go. But yeah, so we now have light, and for those of you that know us from God's Lane Coffee days, so for those of you that are still going to God's Lane Coffee, you'll have instantly noticed under the new owners that these lights were disappeared, and that's because they didn't like them. So we bought them because we like them. It's a bit different being black on white, whereas in our coffee shop it was black on grey. But what we think we might do long term is probably just put some, and we never got around to this at the coffee shop, but put some braided wire in that looks a bit more oldie-woldy, and then we can choose a colour. So might make it a bit more subtle. We could paint that centerpiece. But yeah, so let there be light. Now there is light. So there we go. And just for a bit of fun, we even brought away, that's going to be back to front, but one of the word bulbs that we had at the coffee shop. That one says happy, just reminded Janitha to be happy in a gloriously looking kitchen. So yeah, so in order to save energy, because don't know if you're the same, but we tend to leave the kitchen light on most of the evening, even though we're not in the kitchen at all, probably a lot of the evening, other than to make the odd cup of tea or cup of coffee. So with that in mind, we've got 10 bulbs here, but we have 2 switches. So I've separated out the bulbs so that half work on one switch and half work on the other switch. So that in the evening, and it's bright enough anyway, with just 5 bulbs, we can just use half the energy, which is going to be cool. And they are LED, yeah. So even all of these, I think they are, I can't quite remember, I think they're 4 watt or 3 watt LED. So the whole 10 lights is only like, I don't know, 30 or 40 watts. So they're energy efficient anyway. But because they're LED, they don't produce heat at all. So that's a good thing too. I think we used to get some comments in the coffee shop because we used to have these. We used to have 5 of these around our coffee shop. Was it 6? No, it was 5. So that was like 50 bulbs, and people used to say, "Oh, it's so white in here because them bulbs," but actually, they don't produce any heat at all. So there we go. Just a lighting update. We're pleased with how bright it is. So we're going to get on with covering up this rather tasty wall today and go on with more cladding, well, the last bit of cladding. So we're going to clad along here and clad along here, and then we can secure in the unit and hopefully put some worktop in. So and get taps. Janitha really wants taps. I really want taps, but so there we go. Yeah, update finished. See the other side of whatever we're up to. Cheers, bye. Hey, just got on yesterday. Just another day today, but got more paneling. So got that wall and all squared off. Wouldn't know the mess that was behind it. Got the door latches all redone because I had to shorten the door latch. In the end, always an extra bit to do. Got this all done. So that's because the worktop's gonna, sheet worktop for here, it's gonna butt up to there, so got that done. And then the worktop here will go up, kind of nearly up to the wall, and then we'll, because we've got the pipes to box in, I'll make it look like the cladding. It's over the top of the worktop a little bit, so got plenty of space. So that's why that's not cladded, and we're going to do worktop today. So hopefully by the end of today we'll have worktop here. We'll have a tap if I've got to make sure I've got the right fittings. And I'm also going to fit the worktop bolts onto this because we haven't done that yet, and then it's all good to go. So yeah, it's coming on. I'll update you as we go, but I'm kind of pleased how this bit has turned out. It was a bit of a head scratcher because we knew we'd have a gap between the stand alone unit and the fitted unit, and we bought a quadrant to do it, but we haven't got it. I'm not going to get it for a week, so we're trying to figure out, obviously kind of in advance, what that dimensions that were and all the rest of it. But then Janitha came up with a great idea. We took the plinth off the bottom. It had a plinth off the bottom just to make it the same as all the others, and Janitha had a great idea of why not use that oak plinth that's the same colour, to fill the gap, and then we knew what was happening, so that's what I did. So it's turned out all right. It's the same colour as the unit, and the door will sit here, and you'll never know. So my wife's good, she is. So yeah, so I'll maybe pause in the middle at some point. We're going to just go off and walk the dogs and have a bit of fresh air and get out of the house. But yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hey guys, hope you're good. It's a late one. It's back to front. 11:25. Just got finished. This hasn't turned out quite how I thought in terms of keeping you updated. You saw my last clip, which was I think we'd got the singing unit in and was just about to do Worktop. Well, it's moved on significantly. Took quite a long time to do this bit of Worktop. Definitely a case of measure 20 times and cut once. Worked out all right in the end. And the sink unit's looking good. And I managed to get this join really nice and tight as well, says the other one. So there we go. And then so Janitha's back in Peterborough. So I thought I would surprise her by getting on. So literally yesterday, what did I do yesterday? What day is it? It's Tuesday. Made her some shelves, which are going to be from scaffold boards. Probably show you me doing them. Bought some nice cast iron shelf brackets. And then yeah, tonight was battening and finishing the cladding. Woohoo! Finished the cladding. So yeah, turned out alright. Ready for Janitha's paint. This is how close it got. Ended up using bits that weren't quite long enough, but we're putting a nice bit of oak trim on here as like an upturn, just to sort of finish it off and give us a seal at the back there. So I didn't like this kind of like look where it's just butted up, so we're going to put an upturn, small bit of oak all the way along the back of the worktop, so which we can seal up to. I think I just said that. So yeah, it's all good. Even the tap worked out well. Got a nice posh tap as well with the spray and the thingy. Yep. So just now, what's left to do? We get the doors in 3 or 4 days, so that'll be good to get them done, and all the side panels and stuff. So there's the plastering to finish, and this plug socket needs to be wired up. Yeah, bit of plastering there to do, and over here. So yeah, but obviously as you can see, they've had the first coat, so it's just finishing off, and then paint. Yeah, so there you go, a leap forward. Yeah, there you go. Even managed to get the dishwasher out from the lofty bit, not a literal loft, a barn loft, and haven't plumbed it in yet, so gonna wait for the end panels to happen, and yeah, just temporarily we've got the camping stove there again. So yeah, so I'm gonna go to bed now. I've just had a cup of tea and some Welsh cakes, which was, thought, yeah, why not? So yeah, I'll try and, when we're nearly done, we'll or when we are done, we'll do it before and after. But yeah, there you go. All right, that's 4 minutes of update, and sorry it's not had the fill-in bits. Not took you along with the journey, but I just needed to get it done. And yeah, literally I've been working yesterday and today and tomorrow obviously as well, with the whole 9 to 5, and then been jumping on this to move it forward. So hopefully it'll be a nice surprise for Janitha when she gets back. She'll have some painting to do, so yeah. I'm going to sign off for now. I don't know where this is all going to end up in terms of clips and stuff like that, but I'm sure we'll work it out. All right, cheers, bye.